Hey, welcome to the LTP Lounge, episode number 13. My name's Mark, one of the co-hosts here, and there's Udi, the Trailmaster of Puppets.
Good evening.
Good evening. Hey, today we're going to talk about some new Avengers Campus attractions coming up. Also, we're going to review the YouTube special. We Call It Imagineering. So let's go ahead and do this, and let's roll the intro music. Here it. Okay, and that was that.
Yeah.
All right.
Can I make a request about our intro music?
What's that?
Can you make like a version of it in your style?
Yeah, I can do that for sure. I mean, I own the copyright, so I could probably try that.
Hey now.
Hey now.
There
All
we go.
right. All right. So here we are, episode 13 of the LTP Lounge. This is your chance to interact with us, get to know us a little bit better. We get to know you a little bit better. And we have a couple topics, 2 or 3 topics we definitely try to kick around. You've got no one watching right now, but that's okay. You know what? I am curious to have Marcus on the show next.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad he had a good time. I was secretly hoping he was going to join us tonight for the LTP Lounge to talk about his trip.
Yeah. Next one
for sure. Yeah, I want to get him back on. Okay, so let's just start real quick talking about. We started talking about this Avengers Campus stuff on our last episode of LTP, episode number 217.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, actually, what we can talk about first is I'm going to pull up a map, and because I did talk to you briefly about Star Wars Celebration next month in April, and Disney Parks is going to be having a panel there.
Mm-hmm.
And it got me thinking about what is actually going on with those guys. You know, what are they planning to say? Do you think? And I want to pull up something real quick. Because as I'm doing this, can you what is it you think?
Well, my belief is they're going to probably talk about what they've already said they're going to do as far as the Smuggler's Run. So we already know that Smuggler's Run, they're going to be adding new stories.
Yeah. And
adding Mando and Grogu. My opinion is they're probably going to do that. I would hope. Maybe they're going to give something about Andor. Maybe they're going to give something about the Mandalorian movie, but it's Park's panel, right?
Yes.
Park. So that's the only other thing that I could think of would be talking about what the plans are for the park as far as them unlocking the land.
Yeah.
I think that's a done deal. I mean, that without it's that doing it without saying they're going to do it with, which is what Disney is great at. They just kind of do it, and then everybody's like, "Oh, hey, did you notice this?" In my opinion, that really is going to be the only thing that they're really going to be able to do, right?
Yeah.
They're going to talk about that, because unless they're going to talk about maybe coming adding to the backside, adding something to Galaxy's Edge, I don't know what else it could be.
Yeah, which is kind of why I'm bringing this map up real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot of space back here that we don't ever get to see. You know, I don't know if it picks up where my mouse is. Does it pick up where the mouse is on?
Yeah, kind of. I can kind of see it.
Okay, so
like small. So.
Yeah. You know, one thing we talked about transitions in the last episode. Let's go over there just real quick. is this entrance coming in from Bayou Country or Critter Country. We're going to call it Critter Country. That's what we're going to do.
Can't help it.
Yeah. This through here, the Hungry Bear, and this section right here it's almost perfect.
Yeah.
In fact, it probably is. But
yeah.
Do you ever get the feeling though that maybe there's just a lot of dead space there, right? As your approach rise?
Yeah, but really when you look at it, and in the episode that's coming of our podcast, we talk about that, and I bring up the fact that the transition area is damn near perfect, right? So I don't know if you can call it dead space. I guess dead space in the sense that there's no attraction there. Fair. But it is still utilized for great effect.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. So the effect is going to be obviously the transitionary effect from moving from different parts of the park, and and everything like we discussed, and you guys will hear when the podcast comes out. We talk about that on how there are near perfect transitions from land to land. Mm-hmm. So even though it's dead space because there's no active attraction there, the vegetation, I think, when you really think about that, not only acts as a transitionary for your head and your mind, like to get you there, but it also, with the trees, is going to act as a noise dampener. So you're going to have these things where all that stuff and all those trees and everything will help block out the rest of the park and really give you that feeling of entering into that too.
Yeah.
But even though it's dead space on that side of it, it's not. It's a highly utilized, very useful part of the park.
It is. And it's not, I mean, it's big, but it's not big enough where they could throw something in there. Do you think?
No. And so the only way, I mean, we're talking about it.
Not an attraction, but could you see like maybe some sort of like forest restaurant or forest cantina over there?
Yeah. So that was what I was going to go with. We're going to talk about Avengers here in a little bit.
Yeah.
And how the land that is being used there, being put over there, is tight, and they're kind of making it all work. Here, we're going to have very much the same kind of scenario, but they're utilizing backstage area for that. They have some here as well. So would it be a huge footprint? No. Is another attraction? Doubt it. But a more real dining area would be better, because let's face it, what do we have in Galaxy's Edge for dining? Right? We have the Ponto wraps, we have the Bazaar, which is snack food, really. So, but for sit down, you have Elga's Cantina and Docking Bay.
Docking Bay 7, which you do like a lot. Yeah.
Oh, no, don't get me wrong. Docking Bay is great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, what I would want, if they're going to do that, is they need to take the Elga concept and then take the Docking Bay concept, put them together, and expand. Okay, because really what you have, right, is you're going to have the canteen experience, which is we as much as we love it, we also complain of how it's formatted. You have to share tables at times. You're limited to half an hour. You get 2 drinks. Your menu is very limited. All they're great. Now, the atmosphere is almost second to none, right? I mean, you've been in it. We've been in it together. It is amazing. I love it.
Well, I mean, for the record, I've never had a drink there. I have ducked my head in there a couple of times, but I've never sat down. I know you've probably been there 2 or 3 times, right?
Yeah.
And so I never have actually had a drink there, but what you're saying is what I've been hearing from other people too.
Yeah. So and then you go over to Docking Bay, right? And Docking Bay breaks down like a fast casual. Nothing wrong with that. And the food is really good. Like, they have their pot roast thing that's only phenomenal. That's going to be my only second, that, like, if I need to eat somewhere not Rancho del Zocalo, it's going to be over there, if I have my choice. So,
well, what if we're in there and you go, I'm starving right now, I need something to hold me over to Rancho. Would you go there first and then go to Rancho?
No, I go to Rancho.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, the only way Rancho doesn't happen is if, like, I'm crippled and people are tying me down. Because even if everybody in my party went, no, I don't want to go there, but which we have done, I'll meet up with you later. But
Yeah.
But no, I think really looking at the existing land and area that they have to work with, it isn't going to be a huge footprint. So a restaurant makes sense, fits. They can do a lot. They can build up a restaurant pretty much behind the scenes, behind everything, and then just figure out how they're going to do the transition into it, and then boom, they're open.
Oh yeah.
So I highly doubt, and I don't think that's what they're going to be talking about at Celebration. I think it's going to be much more maybe they're going to do something for the parks in that area. I don't know.
Yeah, and this is just wishful thinking on my part, or even your part. But I would like to see something in here, but I don't think that's what we're gonna get.
No.
But there is a lot of room over in this area. Yeah, in this area here, I think they could do something there.
Well, yeah,
and back here, right? We have this area here. In fact, we went back there, right, for
you're
right here.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Right in there. Yep. But zoom out a little bit. Zoom out just a hair. Okay, yeah. So back area right there. Went too far. But to the right of the Millennium Falcon, right? In that area right there.
Yeah.
Think about that. Look at the show building for smugglers. That's always going to be big. But look to your right. You could somehow incorporate the Falcon, that whole facade right there.
Yeah.
And make a walkthrough. And it could probably do something pretty cool right in there. Yeah, because there's Toga's right there. Turn around the corner. So that's what I'm saying. So when you really think about that area, which I have sat in, walked through, been around, that whole entire area could very easily be something of that caliber. Now, again, we were promised or sold that we would have something like that when they introduced Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
You remember the conversations that Disney was having at the time. You remember all the things they're touting that they can do. They're going to do blah, 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 blah. And we got half of that maybe.
Right. And this stuff back here, I mean, look, these warehouses can get pushed off somewhere else. And there's a lot of room back in this area here where they could expand this and put. Yeah, well, there's supposed to be like another pad somewhere, right? For
yeah, right through there.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. This makes me look at this. I'm not getting a sidetrack, but man, this theater. There's so much room in here for something in Fantasyland.
Yeah.
But that's beside what we're talking about. So the parks panel, I think are right. I think they're gonna be talking about the new Millennium Falcon stuff that's coming up, but that's well over a year away. And that's really what I think is going to be, and probably incorporating new characters into the park, right?
Well, new in the sense of they're probably going to be the OT, the original trilogy characters.
You don't think they're going to put like Andor characters in there?
No.
Well, Andor's not really recognizable characters.
No, and that's kind of the whole point of it. Like, the problem that they've had in Galaxy's Edge, which was, introducing the spy and all that kind of underneath storyline that they kept on touting. The problem is nobody knows them.
Oh, yeah. Right.
So again, we always go back to it. Like, think about all the positivity that we felt when they did the teaser for Luke for, Star Wars Night.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Having that one picture of the back of the robe, Luke, we all recognize it, the black, right? R2 next to his side, and he puts his hand on top of R2's head, and he's on the Falcon. It's like a 10-second thing at the most, and I'm like, woo,
Yeah.
If anything, I would hope, and I really hope this is what we're gonna get. We're getting a lot more recognition of the original trilogy. We argue all you want. Star Wars is a deep, rich story, IP. But the core of everything goes back to Skywalker.
Mhm.
And anybody who's going to argue that, fine. But I'm going to disagree with you. And most of the people who pay and know Star Wars, that's what they know.
Right.
And I think the utter failure of, with the reporting that I heard yesterday, that the Rise of Skywalker wound up costing closer to half of what they reported to be, and it came out at Forbes. I'm like, holy crap!
You mean it was more than what they said?
Yeah. I couldn't find the article in time. We'll cover it probably in the next podcast. I'll feed it over because I think it's very interesting, and it's very telling as to what the desired facade from Disney corporate on anything that they do versus the nuts and bolts of reality of it are usually a stark contradiction.
Oh, yeah.
So when I basically I watched a YouTube video of them covering the article, and I went, holy crap. And I was literally talking to the YouTube channel going, no freaking way. Not shocked, but no freaking way. Like, it was like that shock. It was that expected shock, Like,
yeah.
So, I think all of these factors, which we've been talking about now for a while, there's only so long you can continue down the path that they've been on with failure after failure. Thank you. Exactly.
Luke was my hero. Yeah.
The one thing that
And how's it going, Garrett Barrett, by the way?
Hey, Garrett Bear. Go. So, because I think anybody in our age bracket, and not only our age bracket, but we're Gen Xers.
Yeah.
Millennials even that really took to it. Really, Luke is our guy. When we talk about Star Wars, we will talk about perfect example. When I talk about it with my brother.
Yeah.
Or I talk about it with you or Ricky or Marcus or Joey.
Right.
When we talk about it, we're coming in from the perspective of the original trilogy is our Star Wars, right? This is what we came up with. Like I always say, I always say that, one of the first movie experiences I can remember in the entirety of my life was Return of the Jedi with my dad and my brother and my sister.
Yeah.
Okay. And we have that. Now, you talk to somebody like my good friend Chad, who does the Man of the Show with me. His Star Wars is the prequels. Okay.
Yep.
So, but even with that, right? And he is much more deeper in prequels, Rebels, Clone Wars, the EU books and the games. Okay, that is because at that point in time, he had more of that. We didn't. We had movies. Then we had Star Tours. A random Christmas special throughout, right? And until we got really the prequels, the amount of Star Wars that we got didn't increase further until then, right?
Right.
So this is why I always say, no matter how you look at it, it's going to go back to Skywalker. No matter all the different characters, all the different things we've been added to it, and some amazing characters, and I've talked about them at length on not only our show but on the Mando. But everything comes back to the Skywalkers.
Right. I guess we could sum it up by saying this again. We talked about this last time. Building some Disneyland park, but not having Mickey Mouse in it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's exactly what this is. Without Skywalker or anyone really in that. Well, Ray's a Skywalker, right?
Nah. So here I
know that.
So it's running. Let me go. I was about to touch on it, but I wanted to pause for a second.
Okay. Well, Gilbert has a comment. Return of the Jedi was my first movie in a theater. Still remember how epic that was.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wait a minute. So you saw You saw Jedi in the theater before you saw Empire? Man,
Yep. Yep.
okay, so I remember seeing Empire in the theater. It came out around one of my good friends' birthdays, and we went to the theater as a group, a bunch of boys with parents on a Friday night. And I had already seen it like twice because my mom took me out of school when it came out. Um, and to me, that was more epic than Jedi because that was the first time we saw the AT or the AT-ATs, I guess. And you never see anything like that.
No,
And
no.
what I remember was just like the bass in the theater, and the whole thing just rumbling when those feet were coming, and thinking, what the heck are those things?
Yeah, but
There's no way we're going to survive these. Go on.
yeah. Well, see, this is even though we're separating the age by only a few years.
Yeah,
Those few years are enough to make up that difference between Empire being yours and Return being mine.
that's like 2 years, 81 to 83. Yeah.
And we're a couple of years difference.
Never saw Empire till later.
Yep.
Oh,
See, so I think me and Gary Bear are like right there. Yeah, because I didn't see it till later in the theater.
But you had seen them before.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, no, I knew. We knew what I fully was going on going in.
Yeah.
But going back to the point of it is like, I feel like Disney's finally figured it out. I mean,
Yeah, I think they are. It's going to take a little bit for them to undo what they've done.
Well, okay. Well, I'll let you finish. Hold on. Let me finish my thought before we go there.
Okay.
I think without going too far into the conspiratorial land, one of the main reasons why the whole Rey becoming a Skywalker was, I think, and this is my interpretation, how I see it now, that was the offhanded attempt to co-opt the Skywalker.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So she's not a Skywalker. She doesn't fit with the family. She has no relation to them whatsoever. In fact, she's a bloodline of the antithesis of them.
The
and
Emperor.
then somehow she's supposed to become a Skywalker.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just by edict. So to me, when now, as we're how many years removed from it, and I really like look back at it with clear eyes, because I think my initial disgust for the movies wasn't as high as it is now. I mean, other than whatever Last Jedi or whatever that monstrosity was, I walked out of that movie pissed, like angry, and I did not feel that way coming out of Rise of Skywalker as much, because I thought AJ did what he could do to kind of recoup it. But as we've gone over time now, and I really had time to contemplate it, I really, really hate that movie. And I really hate it because of that. When you look at it, that was them trying to subvert and co-opt Skywalker name, which it didn't work, because the Skywalkers are so ingrained in pop culture, in the zeitgeist, and they have been, no matter how much has gone up and down. The character and that storyline, that family is too powerful.
It is.
It is too powerful. So the only way to really take that over would be to create, if not an equal power of the story, but one better. And we all know they don't have that.
They might.
It was demonstrated. They don't have that ability.
Well, you never know. I mean, they might. For those of us that are joined us, we're talking about Star Wars Celebration next month, and Disney's Parks panel is going to be there. So we're sort of speculating of what we want to see announced. Just to surmise real quick, the things we want to see won't get announced, but we think there's going to be character announcements roaming the park, and we think they're going to talk about the Millennium Falcon new episodes coming, Smuggler's Run. So if you guys have thoughts in the chat of what you would like to see in Galaxy's Edge, if they were going to announce something, which is why the map is up, feel free to chime in. But at the moment, Udi's talking about Rey. Okay.
Well, no, and seeing like you open up the can of worms with Star Wars, and I just have a tendency to go on. So
I know that.
yeah. So so at the end of the day, this is what I keep on going back to. I really think that the signals are there, the arrows are pointing in. Disney finally realizing, look, we can whatever we thought we could do, whatever we felt we had the great concept, the great idea, whatever went on in those boardrooms and in the writers' rooms and all that crap in the editing base. At the end of the day, the market has spoken. At the end of the day, the people, the consumer, the fans have spoken.
Yeah.
No matter how much the big brains and how intelligent they think they were and how creative they were, at the end of the day, the people said, maybe you like it. I don't.
Right.
And now Disney cannot afford any longer to keep down this road. And without going on that,
No.
Really, that's where we are. That's
No.
really where we are. Financially, they cannot afford to make missteps anymore. And the only thing that they have in their back pocket, which will absolutely sell right now, is original trilogy. So while you said it will take them a while to kind of undo this, I disagree. I completely disagree. In one main way, because it may take a while for people to come back. Fair.
Yeah.
But the way they fix it, and they can fix it tomorrow, is change anything in that park to the original trilogy. Everything. Eliminate all of that. Incorporate all the OT characters in that line. Get rid of Rey. Get rid of Kylo. Get rid of all of it. All of it. Keep Mando. OT characters.
Mm-hmm.
It's done. It's done. People are going to be like, dude, like I've said it before, Smuggler's Run. As much as I love Hondo Tanaka, get rid of Hondo. None of the people know Hondo.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't. Hondo's a great character. One of my favorites. He is a pirate. He's a scout. He's a scumbag.
But there's no emotional connection to that character.
Right, for the mass.
Right.
You put Han up there.
Yep.
Orlando, like you brought up. Han.
Yeah.
But no, the key is if you put Han and Chewie together,
yeah.
End of story.
End of story. Game. Mic drop.
Game over.
Yeah.
Then you incorporate Luke back in. You bring Princess Leia. So all these things where you see Rey running around, make that Leia. And people are going to be like, dude, Leia's back. Leia's back. Leia. Because Leia, so for many people, more than Rey, Leia's our princess. Leia's my princess.
Seth has a comment. Rise of the Resistance would be badass as an OG.
Think about that. Anybody, just take a second. Take the attractions that are there right now. Remove all the sequel stuff. Replace it with original trilogy stuff. Replace the characters. Think about it. I brought it up a long time ago in one of our podcasts. Imagine it not being Kylo, but Darth coming at you. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm crapping my pants if Darth is coming for me. Kylo, I'm like, well, okay.
Because they could still do the same effect with the lightsaber through the ceiling.
Yep. Change the mannequins, redress them to Darth. They have the ability to use James Earl Jones's voice. He wrote that off. They can use it. Imagine hearing the breathing when the saber comes down. You're crapping your pants, dude. You're crapping your pants.
Or even they could even do a little bit better before that comes down. That room goes dark. Then you hear the breathing. And then that thing comes down. You kidding me?
Dude.
I'm getting chills thinking about that. Literally chills thinking about that. Thinking, oh my gosh.
You have them in the bridge. You can have them. The moment when you're in the cell, Darth comes over instead of Kylo. The ominous, you can feel that bellow that room with the breathing before. You can start the breathing because you know he's coming, and then he comes on screen. You're already freaking scared out of your mind.
Yep.
Just think about it. It would not be cheap, but oh my God, forget about it. Game over. People are coming in droves. You're going to be going back out. They're going to have to restart. the freaking virtual queue and all. I mean, I guarantee that's what would happen. I know I would be. I'm like, so are we going next weekend? I will tell you this, Mark. Wait, you ready for this one, Mark?
I was just gonna ask you something.
And I'm beating you to it. They do that. AP, take my money. I'm coming.
You guys heard that, and this is going live.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe that.
No, take my money. If they do that, if they do that, they put Darth everywhere. They put
Darth, Leia, and Han
in Rise, and they put Darth or they put Han in Smugglers. Take my money. Oh, AP coming.
Yep.
Hold AP on. Coming.
All right. Sorry about that.
Last year.
No, thank you.
Can you back up Seth's comment? I didn't read it.
Yeah, sorry, Seth. Yeah. Seth is saying to put Darth and Leia and Han in Finn's place. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, absolutely.
They already have permission. This already has permission, from my understanding, to use Leia, voice and likeness from the family.
Yep.
Of Carrie Fisher. They have James Earl Jones. Mark Hamill, his crazy ass, is still around. I love his acting. I hate his politics.
Yeah, well, we won't go there.
No, but he's still there. I mean, Harrison Ford, as much as he hates it all, I bet he'd take a couple mil to do some voiceovers. They already have his likeness for Indy.
What do you think about that comment, Udi?
Game over.
Yep.
Game over.
Game over. Imagine having some of those little droids. I forget what they're called.
Mouse droids.
Yeah, the mouse droid going around.
Mm-hmm.
They go, I want to see those things, right? Yeah. So a couple positives, though, is that nothing's doom and gloom here.
No.
They've got, I mean, I'm just looking around Galaxy's Edge and thinking, number one, how lucky we are to have this, and thinking about how much potential there still is to build this out into other things. I mean, I wish there were two different Galaxy's Edges. Like, I wish there was an Endor somewhere, and then some other, and either we got Endor or Florida got Endor, and then one had something like this, because I don't like copycat attractions.
No, that was, again, this was another fail from Lucasfilm, and I pointed Kathleen Kennedy because she was one of the biggest advocates for this. It was another fail because they ignored park strategies to handle the park, and they just tried to incorporate it. Again, I don't think they reduced costs by mimicking it.
Well, it doesn't. I mean, at that, if I had a seat at the table, I would have said, at least I would have suggested, I don't care what this costs. If we don't have the money, let's get a loan from someplace and get this built, two different ones, because this will pay itself back in spades. Yep. Oh, we have a comment. Yeah. Let's see.
The failures of this stuff all comes from people who thought they knew better than the fans.
Yep. Yes, you're right, Seth. They got those big cannons back and forth. The recoil.
Yeah, I know. I heard about that, which is great.
Yep.
Good.
And I also heard that on the AT-ATs. And I never, do you come AT-ATs or AT-ATs?
AT-AT.
The turrets are moving back now on either side.
Which they should be, because it kind of goes with the shooting.
Oh, yeah, right. Uh-oh, wait a minute. There's a big comment here. Big comment. Can you read that? Go ahead
and read it.
Disney has no choice but to write the Star Wars ship. They should be able to release a new Star Wars movie every 2 years and guarantee $1 billion or more dollars. It's one of the biggest IPs in history. Oh, yeah. Yep. It is a juggernaut in every yep. Absolutely right, Gear Bear.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The apathy that has grown around this franchise is 100% a failure by Disney. 100%.
Yeah.
And so this is when I point at Kathleen Kennedy. She's the president of Lucasfilm. a lot of the things and ideas that were pushed by Lucasfilm, she was out there actively pushing and advocating for.
Yeah.
And the worst part of everything is that they took our characters and made them out to be weak and inconsequential. I mean,
Yep.
we get introduced to Han. I mean, and what do we find out about Han? That he and Leia can't work it out. He's basically a deadbeat dad. Blah 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 blah. Right?
Right.
Oh, super cool. They did the same thing with Indiana Jones, which I refuse to see the whatever the movie was. I have yet to see it, and I have zero desire. And then you take Luke. What do they do to him in Last Jedi?
No.
They kill him off too. So you take the two main characters of those trilogy, the male characters, and you kill one and you kill the other one. And as much as we love Leia, then you make Leia some super Jedi.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And not that there's anything wrong with that, but the fact that they killed off the two strong male characters is something that is asinine.
Well, Udi,
They did.
I think you're forgetting something, and that is that the Force is female.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so
no, and see again, when you really begin to look at it, the mere fact that they introduced that saying was the beginning of turning down the wrong road, because the Force isn't female. The Force is the Force.
Yep, I know that. I'm just messing around.
No. But I'm just saying it because that's the reality of it. We as fans never looked at it like that.
No,
no. Like I said, some of my favorite characters in the Star Wars universe are females, and the fact they're females had nothing to do with it. Cara Dune, Princess Leia, Ahsoka in the cartoon, Sabine in Rebels.
Yeah.
I know. And I mean, come on.
Come on.
So that's what I'm saying.
Seth said first they changed Luke and then they killed him. Yeah.
Again, so what they did with Luke is then they made him weak. Some hermit, some guy who couldn't control himself. He's the best. And then they did. Yeah. So no.
And you're right. And then Gary Bear said, when Luke took the lightsaber and just tossed it away and Rise Skywalker, my heart broke. Yeah.
Yeah. When he did that, I went, "Are you kidding me?" I kind of chuckled, and it was more like, "Wait, did that really happen?"
Yeah, this isn't the blooper reel. Okay.
Because that was so antithetical to what? No, that isn't Luke. And see, that's what I'm saying. They took the strong male characters and they deconstructed them, and it is so boring and so tiring.
I wonder why. Honestly, it must have just been money or something. But why when Mark Hamill read the script,
mm-hmm.
he should. In my opinion, he just should have said, "No, this is not."
He did.
Oh, did he?
He came out on a few of them basically saying, "I don't like what they did with the character at all. This is not Luke. This is not Luke." But it was money. He had paid. He had a contract. He had to do it. He's an actor at the end of the day, and he had a contract. Yeah. I mean, really, if he had the cojones to be like, "No, I'm not going to do that." Yeah.
Yeah.
But he didn't have it.
Right.
He didn't have it. But no, to me, that's what I'm saying. In the time when those movies and films were being written, produced, and filmed, the idea of deconstructing our heroes for whatever reason was a lot. Everyone decided they wanted to do that. And deconstructing a hero that's iconic to me is an exercise for no other reason, just to pick apart something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It serves no purpose. Like if you wanna analyze your hero, figure out, like, since we're talking about Luke, the beauty of Luke and his characters, you see his character arc. You see the hero's journey.
Yep.
Why do I need my hero deconstructed?
You don't.
Especially now, well, the only way that it works, right? If they deconstruct your hero, and then you build him back up, and he regains whatever he lost. Did they do that with Han? No, not really. Did they do that with for Luke? No.
No.
No, you're not spamming, dude. Keep on coming.
Yeah, keep on coming.
Yeah, keep on coming. So anyway, I really now I've gone on for goodness gracious 40 minutes on that. Sorry.
That's okay. That's we can still talk. If you guys have any ideas of what you'd like to see in Galaxy's Edge, or the announced, feel free to chime in.
We're supposed to be talking about other stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about
Avengers Campus. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do?
yeah, we've got let's shift gears and go. I don't know why it's doing this. It looks horrible, but we're gonna shift gears and go across the Esplanade and talk about the new stuff coming to Avengers Campus. Avengers Campus, we were going to go over the We Call It Imagineering, but I don't think we have time to do that tonight. It's a 20-minute thing. That's fine. So we are going to be talking about this is not even good, is it? It's cutting off.
Yeah, can you move the screen over? No.
No.
Take over the screen. Fill the screen with it.
Wait a minute.
There you go. We'll do that. That's better.
Oh, we need to be circles now.
No, we don't. All right, there we go. Whatever.
Okay.
You like circles, I care not.
What's that?
I said you like the circles. It doesn't bother me at all. Whichever
Oh, well, we could do this. Watch how crazy this is. There's that.
Okay.
There you go. Let's just do that. That one's
okay. Let's go. Let's go.
Well, there's all new things on here that I don't know what they do. Okay, so the Stark Flight Lab. Now we talked about what was first announced pre-COVID was this Avengers e-ticket that had the concept art of, just that solo person flying around. And I mean, if I can find it, and I think due to budget constraints, they had to split the two attractions into two. Sorry, the one attraction into two things.
Yeah.
And now we've got this Kuka arm deal where you are a series of 12 pods are going to be attached to 12 different arms. They're going to go around. Now Udi says this is right up his alley. For me, this is not even on anywhere near my own street. I don't even want to go down this alley.
Oh, you're going to ride it with me.
Yeah, I'll ride it once, but I'm not going to be having a full stomach or anything.
We'll get you hopped up on a couple. We'll get you a couple of drinks before we go.
No, I'll do it afterwards as a thank you.
There we go.
So visitors, we're going to journey into Tony Stark's workshop to test out the new technology. Guests will sit in a gyrokinetic pod and roll along track before stopping in a giant robot arm. All right. The robot arm will hoist you into the air while you make several high-speed maneuvers inspired by Iron Man and some other Avengers. Yeah. So I don't know what to even say about that. I think it's going to be popular. Oh, there's a comment. Let's see what that is real quick. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, no, there was another comment. What was this? Oh, this is what Gary Bear wants to have for Galaxy's Edge. Dogfights over Death Star, speeder bike chase on Endor, battle on Hoth, heck, even the trash compactor scene.
Any of them will work well.
Are you Gary? Are you talking about missions on Smuggler's Run, or are you talking about actual other experiences? Oh, and Jason said, "I want to ride this." Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I'm with you, Jay. I'm with you.
It sounds like a vomit comment to me. Yeah, but I'll try it once. Yeah, I'm going to try it once, just to say that I did it. Now, oh, what's going on here? I'm sorry, guys. I'm actually glad that they're doing this, having some more guest experience into Avengers Campus.
Mm-hmm.
Um, let's actually we can. Well, wait a minute. Why don't you talk for a second while I try to dig up the next art? I thought I had it here. So
Okay. Well, no, I mean, one of the critiques we had of Avengers Campus was there, and still I think is apt to this day right now, is that there isn't enough to do. I mean, you've got Spider-Man ride, which is whatever. It's basically another shooting ride, right? In a simulation. Then you have
yeah,
the standby of Mr. Breakout, which is phenomenal. And then you have nothing. A couple of places to eat. They don't even have the shows anymore. So it's one of those things that for a land that could be really fun or really cool, it's kind of wah-wah. You know what I mean?
I
And
mean,
so the mere fact and that they're adding this is great. It's fantastic. I'm super stoked for it. But again, this is where I go back to. It looks like they're trying to do segmented updates to land, and I don't like that. Like, deliver the land, deliver it, and
oh, yeah,
watch people come instead of this, like, because the problem with what they've done with Avengers Campus is that how many people are going to be like, oh, it's Avengers Campus, whatever. Their mind is already been, their view of the land has been formulated.
yeah.
And for you to break from that is going to take more work. When you could have just waited, gotten everything in, and then you could have been like, boom, wait, I mean, Cars Land. Correct me if I'm wrong, that opened up on one shot, right? Am I wrong with that?
No, you're not wrong, but you have to remember. I mean, the timing of everything with Adventures Campus was skewed because of COVID, right?
No, I get that, but so here's my, and it has always been my argument, and my pushback on that is that they could have been doing things behind the scenes. They probably
Oh,
could have worked at a quicker pace.
yep.
I will bet dollars to donuts that if they wanted to, Iger could have gone over to Gavin and say, "Hey, Gabby, hey, buddy, make a deal, give me a special permit, blah blah blah, and let my guys continue to come in here and work." And they could have done it like no one would have been there.
Right.
And no one would have been there walking around reporting on nothing because nobody's there.
Oh, right.
And they could have been like, and people would have just like lost their mind. It would have been a great way to reopen the park and bring people in, and then really given Avengers Campus a good boost. But they didn't do that.
You can do that. All right. So Jason said we had an idea of using the Flight of Passage ride system to make an indoor speeder bike ride. Oh, that would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That would be incredible.
Yeah, from everything I've seen and heard about that,
yeah.
It sounds like a fit perfect.
And it looks like Galaxy's Edge has the room for such an attraction too, if they were to do that.
Dude, that'd be epic.
Yeah. Man, I wonder, I don't want to get into this real quick, but Star Tours would have to get taken out of Tomorrowland and brought over to Galaxy's Edge, yeah. Or just gone.
Yeah.
Just gone, right?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I have so many fond memories of that attraction. It's going to be one of those things, but I don't see how it fits anymore.
No, I don't see where
I love it. I mean, I still like it. I still ride it every time I go. I still love it. It's still very nostalgic for me. A lot of nostalgia in going there. It's the only new Star Wars I had for a while. So I cannot downplay in any way, shape, or form what that attraction has been meant to me. But man, like, I don't know what else to do with it.
Yeah, it should, but it won't.
Yeah.
Well, it can get moved over to Galaxy's Edge somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not sure if that's a step backwards or not.
Well, when you think about that, it was a no-go before because of the whole time locking thing. It didn't fit. You
Right.
had multiple story arcs, you had multiple things, and they would they vary from back and forth in different parts of Star Wars, or the history of Star Wars. So the only way they could have done it was just leave it, with anything related to Kylo. But now, if they have in fact, which again I'm gonna say looks like they've done it, they've gotten rid of the time lock, then why not?
Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
Because then you're no longer in that, artificial bubble, and you can go play in the bigger sandbox.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so let's take a look at this Avengers Campus Infinity Defense. And they released some concept art and a little bit of video for it. But this is a view of the cart as a guest. This is a pretty cool view of what I think it's going to be. There it is right there. It's going to looks like it's got 2 or 3 rows that can hold like 3 to 4 people.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that. It's kind of a big loader, which is what you want.
Right.
There's a comment here. Oh, what's this? Star Tours was mind-blowing when it came out. It was really a leap forward, but 35 years passes and that tech is outdated and kind of played out.
It's a sad reality of it. Yep.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, it's the reality of it. Like I said, we can look at it for nostalgia, and we have a lot of things in that park that we hold with nostalgia that we will never want to let go of. Star Tours does not fit in that.
No.
I mean, you look at the entirety of Fantasyland. If they try to touch it, we're coming at them with pitchforks.
Yeah.
You try to do anything with Mansion or all that other, yeah, we're coming at you.
No. In fact, we just talked about that the other day. Was going from the hub, going through either Adventureland or Frontierland, all the way to Galaxy's Edge is practically perfect.
Yeah, that's in our upcoming podcast.
Yeah,
discussion. So,
but no, yeah. Go ahead.
No. So that's what I'm saying. Star Tours does not fit into that as much as I would love it to, because again, nostalgia for me. I think for the vast majority of the park, it doesn't qualify for the untouchable status.
No, especially if you're talking about revamping Tomorrowland. That's got to be one of the first things that's got to either go or get replaced or
rethemed
rethemed somewhere else.
You could keep the game, the attraction engine there. You could keep all that there, but it would have to be reskinned basically.
We need a Space Mountain kind of coaster where you're in an X-wing and dogfighting.
Dude, that'd be epic. That'd be epic.
Not in Tomorrowland though.
No.
I don't want to see any Star Wars stuff there, to be honest with you.
No, I agree. I concur.
But that would be fun in Galaxy's Edge.
It'd be great. I don't know, man. Maybe something about going to Mars.
Yeah. Something like that. That's a stretch, really.
Some people are trying to do it right now, but hey.
Yeah, I know, right?
We don't like that guy right now. Anyway.
Oh, we don't? Okay.
I think he's fantastic, but anyway.
Yeah. Avengers Infinity Defense. So again, it's going to be a car that's going to have probably anywhere from 6 to 8 guests. I like that. It's going to be a trackless system.
So that reminds me of Rise, right? Does this have a little bit of that Rise kind of idea to it?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I hope it's a little bit of practical and this stuff too.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, when you really think about that, the tech is now there with Rise to do the mix of, screens and practical effects and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're saying that the ride is going to be very similar to the Peter Pan's Neverland Adventure, which opened last year in Fantasy Springs in Tokyo Disney Sea.
Okay.
And if you folks have not had a chance to look at that POV, it is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And before people knock this down as like, oh, I want to have an actual roller coaster or something. I don't want to have this trackless system with 3D stuff. I would say just try it. They can do a lot of cool things with this stuff. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, yeah. They're not going to have issues with screens like they've had, from what I've heard, on TVA because you're not dealing with the unknown factors of an open building to an extent, and moisture and blah blah blah, all that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
This is going to be inside a controlled building from what it looks like, and completely be able to climate control the whole thing. So the reliability of those kind of systems are going to be, I would assume, far higher.
I would assume you're correct. And there's a lot of things they can do with this. I mean, we don't know if this is going to be a 2-story ride. We have no idea what is it going to go.
Yeah.
Is it going to go outdoors?
Yeah.
Steve said, hey, Steve, how's it going? Looks like the Transformers vehicle and you wear horrible 3D glasses. Steve, are you against the 3D glass concept, or has ride technology advanced that we don't need that sort of stuff anymore? Does it feel like it's a step backwards for you? In addition to the rocky location, the clips show the vastness of space, including floating rocks and spaceship debris. Although these locations aren't instantly identifiable, we do know the ride will visit Asgard, Wakanda, and New York City. I didn't know any of that.
Cool. No. I read on, my friend, because that's cool.
Another clip shows a statue of Loki seemingly about to be crushed by a falling structure. The video clip seems to be purposely blurred to keep elements of the ride secret, but they also seem to be obscured due to it being in 3D. Yep, the ride using 3D is all but confirmed by Imagineers wearing 3D glasses as they look up at the scenes. It's not an official announcement, but it always possible Disney could change their minds about using 3D.
Mm-hmm.
Peter Pan's. Oh, and here's a link: full ride POV. Shit, we can actually probably just do that right now if you want to do that, since we're here.
It's up to you. I mean, we're technically at 3 minutes. We have like 3 or 4 minutes left, so it's up to you.
Well, that is like the last part of it. Okay. So let's just go and do that then. How long is this clip? Oh, wait a minute. Steve says he hates 3D glasses. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan.
Was that loud or what?
A little bit.
We can be talking about. Let me see if I can make this thing just bigger. Okay, we can. Okay. This, and sorry, we're not going to be stealing your right through your right through stuff, Jason. I just want to see what people think about this. One thing I do like about this, even though this is this sees like a duplicate ride, is that every time they do an iteration of something like this, they get a little bit better.
Yeah. I mean, like anything, technology advances as you take steps. So, if they're doing that, then yeah.
This is just going through the queue. I'm going to see if I can get through all this because we don't need any of that.
Yep. Let's see. Gabriel says, "Ugh, I would really prefer super high resolution screens rather than 3D screens." There's a part of me that agrees with that, but without knowing what the attraction is and what the story is and what they're trying to accomplish, I'm on the fence. I mean, the initial thought is like, I get it, but I'm not throwing it out because we wear them for a few different things.
Right. But here we go. Okay, so I do like this, how it looks, but I'm telling you right now, I've been in this game quite a few years, and to me, this already looks like we're not pushing the ball further down the field with this.
And we may, and here's the thing is we may not be. And if you do that, it is going to be kind of let down because your screen's in a good one. Yeah. So
I mean, Udi, honestly, do you want to see screens like this?
Here again, it's difficult because I don't know what they want, what the story is. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Part of me is like, no, like we've been there, but if there is a mix of them, like what we've got in Rise, what's the problem?
Right. Yeah. What is the problem?
So, because I mean, we all know, I mean, when you go through Rise, as much as we all love Rise, it is a mix of practical and screens.
Yes.
You have that. So,
oh, see, okay, now this part looks really cool. Okay, this, I'm not gonna lie either. This right here,
yeah,
looks awesome. And it's gonna go down the waterfall, I guess,
right.
right?
Probably, maybe.
Okay, yeah, okay, gotcha.
So,
No, awesome.
yeah. So you look at it. So that's what I'm saying. I don't know what they're trying to accomplish.
No.
To me, the biggest issue with this, or the biggest uh, uh, thing for me, whether I like it or not, is what are they trying to accomplish? What is the story? What are they trying to do? What journey are they taking this on? And if they do that well, and if they get us there, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Again, Rise of the Resistance, Rise works so well because not only is the technology there, but it takes you through the story.
Mm-hmm.
You become part of the story. You become, that's what makes it so brilliant. So I know they can't do that with every new attraction, duh. But whenever you're going to open something like this, if they're telling the story well and they're using whatever media they can to fully tell the story and get you immersed in it, what's wrong with it? You may,
yeah,
exactly. You may say, "Well, I'm tired of 3D glasses." Fair critique. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to automatically nix an attraction because I got to put on 3D glasses. I don't care. It's
right.
not none of the, if they give me 3D glasses and the attraction is phenomenal, the story's great, the action's great, all the movement is synchronized, and I go through an adventure and a ride, and then I dump my 3D glasses off like I do for another one, go Star Tours, like boom, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What does it matter? So it definitely going to do a wait and see. So it would be cool that we didn't have to go through that in that sense of just like, I got to put glasses on. But other than that, I don't care. I don't care. It doesn't kill it for me at all. Not even close. Not even close.
Yeah, I think in fact I'm gonna have to eat some crow already. When I said, "Oh, this is already like what 2 steps backwards," actually, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take that back. I mean, the technology. I'm more practical than this stuff, but
As am I.
But this is pretty dang cool.
Yeah.
And I do wonder how they're gonna marry the two stuff, the two elements, this what we're seeing now versus practical stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Infinity Defense, because I think they're going to have to do both.
They have to. I agree.
Oh, we got some comments. Let's see. I wrote that when I was just looking at the queue, but I'm all for good balance, practical, and little screen to enhance certain effects. But I don't like screen-based rides without sets and animatronics.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you.
Yeah, 100%.
Steve says it messes with my eyes. I assume you're talking about the 3D glasses, right? Yeah. Okay, I can see that.
Yeah,
for sure. But no, I think Gary, you're right. It's got to be a mix, and I wonder. I do wonder. Do you think they're trying to compare this to have it compete against Rise?
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
You don't think they're thinking, okay, in the drawing board, okay, this thing has to be just as good as Rise?
No.
If not better.
No.
I didn't say they were. I'm asking. Do you think they were?
No. I'm saying no. I don't think that they walked into there.
This part's cool.
No, because I will tell you on one
yep.
part alone, they don't have the footprint for it.
Oh no, they don't. They don't have the footprint for it.
You can't. So that's alone. That negates anything like that.
Yeah.
Anything in my opinion, anything that they're going to try to give a legitimate run for the money for Rise is going to have to be in anything Disney Fort when they have big footprint, big kind of thing. Because, like I said, they really changed the game and raised the bar with Rise. They really did.
Yeah. Well, no, this actually has me kind of excited, to be honest with you, because they could actually add like a fourth dimension into this, right? I mean, I saw some scenes with water. I wonder, it'd be cool just to get a little mist,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But again, different purpose than what we've got going on with Avengers Campus and Infinity Defense.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was that. um, let's see. What is this? I don't think so either, but they do want something different, and none of the American Disney parks have this ride system yet.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
They need to add. They. What I think is very important, what you're kind of touching on, is the fact that right here, the domestic parks need the kick that the overseas parks have been getting, especially in the China and Shanghai and all that.
Yeah,
they've been getting all the really cool stuff.
yeah.
And right now, all I'm hearing about is, like I said, that's my problem with Disney Forward right now, is that we're not hearing anything. Nothing. I haven't heard a peep after the vote.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm surprised we have not heard anything. I'm surprised ground hasn't been broken in anything yet.
No, I'm not.
Why? I just, but that's beside, that's a little bit down the road. But this, you know, Jason said we don't have anything like this in the American parks. I mean, but we sort of have Ratatouille that uses 3D glasses on a trackless system, and that's an incredible attraction. We also have Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway too, although not 3D glasses, but they're using these projection things and practical. And for those of you who've been on that, you know that's a pretty fun ride. And I want to go on it with Udi because I think he's gonna like it a lot. Even though it's really geared for kids, it's really well done. You can comment on that in the chat if you guys have been on it. But okay, so this will not compete with Rise because they don't have the land for it.
Mm-hmm.
But Rise is still the measuring stick now, right? Or not?
For me.
Yeah, for you.
Mm-hmm.
True. Yeah, but not to the extent that what you're saying, Jason. I mean, you're right that we don't have anything exactly like this, but we have a couple elements that can do this sort of thing. So I'm excited that we're going to get this. I'm also excited about Coco. We didn't talk about that tonight because I think that's going to be a fun attraction, especially if it's water-based.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a whole nother can of worms.
And then on the movie side, Coco too.
Oh, that just got announced today, right?
Yup.
But you knew about that, yeah?
No, I didn't.
I didn't either.
No.
So this does have me excited about Avengers Campus. Avengers Campus needs a boost.
Mm-hmm.
It needs something. They're slowly pulling away the live action stuff there. They did it with Doctor Strange, and I think the characters fighting above the Avengers headquarters is going to be taken away too.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm, excited that it's happening there, not in Disneyland. So yeah, I look forward to. So we're probably, what are we now? March of 2025. Are we looking at 2 years for this to come online, Udi? About 2 years.
Mm-hmm. 2 years. I was gonna say, you beat me to it.
No, I'm just guessing. I don't know.
No. I was gonna say 2 years, and you said it.
Another comment here. See, you're killing me, Jason. I would love for this to have a drop. That's.
Oh, we're not going to get that there again. The footprint.
But they can go vertical. No, they won't though. They won't.
They could, but that takes a lot. That's a lot more machinery than I think you know.
Oh yeah, no, I don't. I'm just
a lot. It's a lot.
It's a lot. Just doing some wishful thinking here.
The counterweights, the system, the suspension, dude. It is a lot. Yeah.
But I mean, overall, I am excited. So what did we learn tonight? My big takeaway from all this is that if they bring OG characters back like today, Udi's getting an AP. That's what I'm getting.
If they bring him and put them in, they got to put them into the attraction.
Oh, it's not enough for them just to be walking around.
No.
They've got to be able to be incorporated.
They got to be in Rise and in Smugglers. Then
I would too, but too much planning in space. You're talking about a multi-level attraction.
Yeah. Still can be done.
Still can be done. Yeah. Well, this has been a good discussion. We've done the 5 people, and I know we're over time. One last thought: is anyone going to go see Snow White? Right? I know. Steve's probably going to go see it tonight. Joey's probably there right now.
Lilo and Stitch, I'm all for. I'm in for that one.
Yeah.
And then as soon as we get done, I'm gonna watch Moana too because I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, you can watch it tonight?
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
What's
up? What'd you say?
No, that's the plan.
Okay, that's the plan. Yeah. Oh, someone in a comment. Oh, Steve is not going to go see it. I thought you would have to leave early so you can go watch the midnight premiere.
Are you sure you don't want to? I'm sure they have a banging popcorn bucket for it.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there is.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you the theater behind me is jammed up tonight.
Poison apple.
Oh yeah,
the poison apple one. A big head of what's her name? Snow White, whatever her name is. I can't think of her name.
I don't know who it is.
Whatever her name is.
Oh, Lilo and Stitch for sure. Mm-hmm. Oh, wait a minute. Jason, are you going to send us something? He said, no, check this out. What is? Oh, wait a minute. What is this? You guys watching Daredevil? Oh,
I watched 2 episodes. I haven't picked it back up. I got really pissed off on the first one.
Okay. No, I haven't seen it. I did see the second trailer for Andor. Did you see it, Udi?
No, I haven't watched it yet.
Okay, is the Emperor's in it?
Spoiler alert, bro.
Dude, it's not. He does a voiceover. Vader is in this one. Dude, there's no spoiler alert. Just go watch it.
Can't take you anywhere.
Oh, dude, I told you 2 days ago, and you haven't done it.
So it's my fault. You're blowing. Okay.
Okay, Ray's in it too. Ray's are walking around killing fools.
No.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Oh my gosh! All right.
I don't know, Jason. Were you gonna say something or? I don't know. But oh, wait a minute. He sent something.
No.
Oh, you can read it on the air. I don't. Oh my gosh, it's with me right now. Oh,
okay. So basically, he Screen Rant, Snow White's live action remake, 10 biggest changes Disney original animated movie. I don't know.
George back. Yeah, right.
Oh, wait, I'll go through real quick. There's 10. Okay. Snow White's name gets a new meaning.
What? I'm sorry. What's the topic of this?
This is, hold on. It's an article by Screen Rant.
Okay.
It says Snow White's live action remake, 10 biggest changes Disney's original animated movie. Okay, so Snow White's name gets a new meaning. Jonathan is Snow White's new love interest instead of the prince. The dwarves get an origin and power.
Oh, so there's a backstory on the dwarves?
Yeah, Dopey can actually talk this time.
Okay.
The fate of the king is different. Snow White replaced the classic song with new ones. That's the fail. That's one of the biggest fails. Ferris in the Land takes on a new meaning. Stop.
What's that last thing you said?
The evil queen dies differently in live action. Snow White's ending is completely different. And Snow White's arc is updated for modern times. I want to puke. Ugh. All
right.
And this is why you fail.
Well, I don't know what it. I mean, what are they expecting it to do the box office opening weekend? Like 50 million or something?
Not even.
Okay.
No, this thing's a train wreck, and they know it. They've been trying to hide it. Honestly, I was gonna suggest it for one of the topics for this episode, because I knew it was coming out, but I honestly didn't want to go down that rabbit hole because
Oh,
they've done a lot to hide it. They canceled the European big, the red carpets. They've hidden this. They've done everything they can to. They have not promoted this to the same level as every other live action movie because they know for a fact they screwed it up royally. You do not take the movie that made Walt Disney and bastardize it like this. You do not. It is an utter slap in the face to Walt and everything he tried to do.
yeah.
And this ties in directly with what they tried to do with fucking Luke. Sorry. And Han. I can't
Okay.
help it. When you
All
get
right.
me going, I'm going to start going. Okay.
All right. Okay. So I safe to say we're not going to go see Star Wars. We're not going to go see Snow White.
Snow White. Nope.
We do anticipate some news from Disney Parks regarding Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, but we think it's going to be about the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run.
Mm-hmm.
We did talk about possible expansions of Galaxy's Edge and what we'd like to see. And there is room for that. I mean, ultimately, and we talked about the timeline being unlocked.
Yep.
And this is going to be a very, very good thing for everyone involved, including Disney. We also talked about Tony Stark Flight Lab and how it's going to make most people sick, but Udi's going to love it. Yeah, Gary Bear and I are going to get sick on it. Do you know the other thing about that? It looks like it's a very slow loading attraction.
Yeah.
So that's going to be problematic for me. Oh, wait a minute. Comment. Yes, you're right. You are absolutely right, Gare Bear.
Where you want to read that?
He said 100%. Out of all the movies, they should have remade Snow White with the utmost respect and care for the original. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was the original Disney animated feature. And
you and I have seen the Oscar that they made for it.
Yeah, we have. And for sure. There's 7 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And if that thing had been a failure, we wouldn't have Disneyland.
Not even any of it.
We might have some sort of Disney park somewhere in Glendale or something like that, but it wouldn't be anything to what it's become.
No.
Okay. And so what else? We talked about Avengers Infinity Defense, the ride, what we think it's going to be, or what we actually know it's going to be. But we looked at the Peter Pan in comparison and thought this could be cool if they add some practical stuff to it. I want it to be 2 stories, but I've been talked out of it because you and Jason are correct.
I want it, but they can't do it. I don't think they can do it.
No. But I think it's going to be cool nonetheless. And if they can, add some actual like 4D effects where it shakes, or you get smoke, or you get water, or something like that, or scents, or something like that, I think it's going to be a home run.
Yeah, potential for a good time.
Yeah, but mostly, I hope a lot of people go and see it and hang out in DCA so that Disneyland will be less crowded, and we can go do our thing. That's really what I want in my selfish way. Okay, so we've gone about almost 20 minutes longer than normal, but that's okay. Yeah, it's fine by me. I'm glad people came on and talked about it tonight.
As always, thank you guys.
Yeah. Again, click and subscribe to this channel. We want to get to 50 followers. I think we're at 45 right now, but it's like making small increments here and there. We were supposed to have Jess on tonight, but she never made it. Is that right?
Work.
Yeah. Becky.
Try.
Yeah, Becky will make it at some point, I would imagine, as well. Okay, and then our next episode comes out for the regular LTP Leaving Today podcast will come out this coming Monday, and it's a pretty good show. And yeah, we're gonna have some guests coming up soon, and hopefully we'll be over. Go ahead.
The guest list that you've been working on is pretty. I'm excited for it.
Me too. And we may have an opportunity to go live at Stage 9 in a couple of weeks. So working on that. They're having a Disney Fine Arts presentation there. So hopefully we can get a spot there to cover that and talk to the artists and talk to the listeners or the patrons there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Udi's he's getting a call from Bob Iger right now.
No.
Okay. Okay. Anyways, thanks again for tuning into the show. We do very much appreciate it. Go tell your friends and loved ones what we're doing. I appreciate everyone commenting. I love this sort of thing. And the more the merrier. Or sorry, the more the merrier. Actually, is what I should say. All right. Any last thoughts, Udi?
No, thanks guys for hanging out as usual. Yeah. We'll see how everything goes. But yeah, things are I still feel things are looking at me. Things are looking up.
Things are looking up. Oh, I may have a comment. It's probably something from who knows. Oh, hey, you're welcome, Gary. You're welcome. Yeah. And anytime you want to come on the show, Gary, I mean, even the regular LTP, just let us know. Mm-hmm. We'll open a mic line for you.
Yep, for sure.
Okay. We'll talk to you guys. Hey, Steve, thanks for coming up.
Thanks, Steve.
Hey, if you guys get in touch with Lewis, tell him to come on sometime. I miss talking to Lewis.
Yep. Awesome guy.
Yeah, awesome guy. Okay, well, we will talk to you soon. We'll see you in 2 weeks, but we'll talk to you on the LTP before that.
Yep.
And you know where to find us. All right?
Yep.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys.